Hi, I'm Laura,
And this is Gary.
and we're working on several projects for our host Cascade camper. One of the projects I'm working on is getting insulation into the host Cascade camper. When we were coming back from Oregon on our trip to pick up our SherpTech bed, we had a couple of issues related to freezing lines, that kind of thing. So we're working on areas ultimately to help allow us to camp in much colder weather, and I will show you what we've done. The type of insulation I'm using is this RMAT Plus 3. I'm using the half-inch version just to kind of keep things as small as possible, but I'm hoping that this will be better than Reflectix. If you look at the other side, it does have the foil that would be similar as the Reflectix material. The intention is the same, but you are also adding some insulation barrier as well. My plan is to add this to the two areas near the bed that in that closet, and then on the driver's side closet. I am planning on also going through and insulating the cabinets in the kitchen, those upper small cabinets, but more so in these bottom cabinets in order to keep things a little bit more temperature controlled. This is how we insulated the driver's side little closet area. We ended up adding insulation to basically the outside walls, including the angled wall. I'm hoping that our area over the cab will be a little less chilly. I am cutting these pieces pretty tight, probably leaving about 1/8 of an inch on each side and then kind of trimming as I'm getting into there. You can kind of see as I'm pushing that the material, it's fitting underneath that wood piece, and again aligning to the other pieces of wood at the very bottom. I don't know if this is the right tape that I'm supposed to be using, but it's typical metal duct tape. You see a lot of these where the foil side is towards you, which makes it look a lot prettier. But from what I understand, we really want it on the outside layer to kind of give us that reflection off of the outside area instead of not doing as much on the inside. I'm using this aluminum-ish tape in order to fill the seams. The intention is that I'm going to seal up each of the pieces where I had to meet two pieces together, as well as solidifying that against the wall, any of those outdoor exposed walls. On the passenger side closet, I ended up having to remove the upper kind of decorative metal piece in order to get the insulation in. I really didn't want to cut it down and have that max length in there. So I ended up having to take that down. Really, all I had to do was loosen up a few of these screws in the railing here. Here's a quick peek on our upper cabinet in our kitchen. I did put the insulation with the foil towards us, mainly because of aesthetics. Maybe sometime I will add wallpaper to it, see how it looks. Here's the cabinet underneath the sink. We did try to get insulation as far back as possible, even behind the drawer on the right-hand side and the stove. Getting back behind the sink was a bit challenging, but definitely worth it because that's where the propane tanks are. A lot of opportunity to insulate that area, especially with the box being metal. You can see in this area that I was able to even put the 1/2 inch underneath the drawer, and it works just fine. The wood around those areas again allowed the insulation to fit very nicely. I kind of went to town on the dining room area. I wasn't quite sure where to start. I did focus on the back panel and then basically around every place I could. I did focus on the black tank plastic insert area. I thought that would be likely to have a lot of potential for excess temperatures outside. The main focus was that back wall, though. I was able to get behind it pretty easily, behind the black wash. Fit everything kind of nicely. This was pretty straightforward. I shoved as much of the insulation as I could as far left as possible. On the right hand side, I'll show you later that I put that in from the inside. I didn't see a huge value anymore about us actually seeing the tank, since we're also installing the sea level system. On the opposite side, I did insulate on, this is the driver's side going into the cadaver tray. That back wall and the left wall were insulated. I just forgot to take pictures. The generator area was definitely a place where we wanted to look at a little bit more, see what was going on above the generator, and see if there's an option for getting insulation up there. In order to get that panel out, we had to loosen the propane fitting, and I had to remove both the hot and cold water on the lines on the faucet in order to get back there. But I was able to insulate. Another area that we're going to insulate is over by the cadaver tray, where the low point drains and the water pump is located. This is where I think a lot of cold air is getting in, primarily through the generator hole over there, if you can see that, as well as the fact that our door was a bit bent, so we will be also working on those as a future project.